Well, this is a spectacular morning. It is just so very, very beautiful because the sun's shining. We had the most gorgeous sunrise. So I got up early. I got up about 7, no, about 6:30 actually, and made some coffee, lit the stove, did all the usual stuff, and then came out and I worked in the garden. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing. And just panning around here, this is the first year that there's absolutely no grass in this area. This used to be, you see where I'm pointing the camera, this used to be a little bit of lawn, but you see how the trees, the shrubs, everything's taken over and the actual earth is becoming a woodland floor. So any of you who've watched the early videos, when I was having to spend a lot of time mowing paths to keep them open, you can see now, look, there's going to be very little mowing this year because many of the paths were simply, grass, have now been transformed naturally and with a lot of planting into woodland paths. So it's very exciting, really, because it gives me a completely different dimension of, seeing the land and what started as a very arduous task, with the continual coaxing of the earth into life, and it was quite difficult. Well, of course it was, but look at the dividends now that have been paid. I mean, it's just amazing. So I'll show you what I've been doing. So first of all, the usual annual thing here, look, with just neatening up the edges of one of the few remaining grass paths here. So you can see what I've been doing. And it helps to keep that couch grass from going crazy in the borders, because of course the borders are slowly transforming and being filled up. So I've also been doing work here on the Lunacy garden, so you can see that's beginning to look a bit more shapely, look a bit more defined. The tunnel, of course, is an ongoing. Oh, look at the wee bird. Now I'm going to have to just stand back because it'll panic it. So the little couch grass burning continues. Yet more and more stuff stacked on the compost heap, but that's all good. So down here, this is turning into a magical little spot, and it's taken me all these years just to get into this little spot here. So everything I've cut is stacked and will remain stacked because that's habitat. So nothing is ever wasted in Mother Nature. And I'm absolutely with her 100% on that. I don't go burning wood piles and stuff. I don't know why people do that. I don't know why you'd want to take a wood pile that that is the result of trimming things back and set fire to it. I mean, little bits of couch grass and little bits of thorn, perhaps, but my goodness me, burning wood piles, that's just destructive. Anyway, I don't want to turn this into a rant. So, I read all your comments this morning, and thank you very, very much for just supporting what fed into a lot of it wasn't anger that I felt, about some guys being so nasty. It was frustration, just frustration that, we all need to evolve. And all those people who are being nasty, they're just revolving. They're going round and round and round and round. And it's so pointless. It's so pointless. So let's all try to evolve Because look at how Bealtaine Cottage has evolved. I mean, look at this place. You know, this magnificent evolution. Mother Earth wants to evolve, and she wants us to evolve with her. She hasn't spent thousands of years, you know, tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of years evolving us as a species in order for us to just get to a point and, you know, we're so egotistical, we're so arrogant, we just keep revolving. No, she wants us to evolve. There is something magnificent just ahead of us if we can only evolve to it. So let's do that. And you know, International Men's Day on the 19th of November, I will be celebrating that. I will be celebrating that for all the men in my life and for all the men I haven't met who support Bealtaine Cottage, because there are many of you. So, gosh, where would we be without men, without good men? Without good men. So, look at, it's a beautiful day. I'm not going to moan, I'm going to celebrate what is here. I'm going to celebrate everything that has evolved here, and I'm going to celebrate the whole aspect of where we're going. If only we could just get on board. And you know, there are more and more people getting on board. And I was talking with Christy about this. You know, there are so many people getting on board. And we all know that there is a tipping point for any change. There is a tipping point for change. A tipping point at which change seems to just roll in so fast that, you know, it's bewildering. And that tipping point is 10%. 10%. So we only need to have 10% of people looking seriously at evolving themselves. And hopefully, you know, with the help of places like Bealtaine Cottage, the Bealtaine Project, because come on, look how she's done it in just over 13 years. I mean, you know, who's the clever girl then? Hmm? Yeah. Now look, this is the spring well. It doesn't look as though anything's happening, but look at the flow from it. Isn't that beautiful? Such beauty to behold, fills the senses. It does fill the senses. Do you know, when I'm busy writing away, scribbling away, I have some short stories on the go, and I've got so much written down and so much in my head to write down. I'm sure there'll be something happening quite soon. Oh, I'm just talking to myself here now. Ignore me. Ignore me and listen to the birds. Jack! Jack! Come on, mister. I don't know why you go off ahead of me. You're supposed to walk with me. No, I'm going to be bringing the the saw and the loppers down here into the fairy wood later on this afternoon, because there's a little bit of a tree. Let me have a look at that. Yeah, that's the goat willow. So there's a bit of goat willow has just broken off now because of the weight of the ivy. And when that's cut, that'll be left down there on the ground. To aid and abet the transformation, the evolution. Birds are so happy. They're so very happy. And for me, one of the greatest joys of devoting my time and my energy to the Bealtaine Project, one of the greatest joys, returns from that, rewards from that, has been my deepening appreciation of what really gives me joy. And just being here on the land gives me such joy as I cannot express. But then I think Mother Earth does a pretty good expressing for me. If I said nothing, if I just wandered around with this camera recording, you'd hear all the delight. I think the birds are just so happy to be alive. That here they are, singing into another spring. I want to thank everyone who supports Bealtaine. I really want to thank you. Because your support in, buying a book or buying a map has secured my life here. It's really anchored it down. That little income that I get. I mean, I'm just thinking, because I'm going over to the post office now, the second time this week, with a little bundle of books. And it's that income that means I don't even have to think about, bills or mortgage or anything like that. I can just completely enjoy. I mean, in a very modest way. It's nothing extravagant, but I can live worry free. Some little primroses I put down there years ago. Little primulas, I think, actually. They still come up. There's Jack running up the drive. Okay, we'll just walk down here and then walk up the drive. It was amazing waking up this morning and seeing the light just coming in through the window. And then that lovely pleasant surprise when I looked at the clock and it was 6:30. And I thought, there's another half hour of daylight we have now. It's amazing how the days begin to stretch. Come on, Jack. Come on. Christy and Dean remarked on the steepness of this drive. They said it wasn't something that you'd notice on the videos. And I thought, yes, it's probably quite true actually, although because I know it's very steep, I automatically, you know, when I look back at the videos, think, yeah, well, you know, it's steep. But this is why you hear me kind of breathing a bit heavy when I'm walking up this driveway. Now, blessings to you all and have a beautiful day.